Hello and welcome back to the finish line. We just kicked off there with Tom giving out about going bald.
Profanities.
You may have seen that actually because it was right there live before. Fucking hell, right.
Oh, it's fuck's sake.
When Tom gets angry, he's English.
He goes-
Otherwise, he's like Irish English.
He goes posh English when he curses.
Anyway, welcome back. I've lost my train of thought now. I'm thinking about Tom going bald. Andrew, how are you?
I'm good, Dave. You?
Not good.
What's new?
Yeah. No, I've been sick for a few weeks and trying to get better.
A few weeks.
Yeah.
Try a few fucking years.
Sick of fucking flat racing. That's what I'm fucking sick of.
Yes.
Sean, how you doing?
Yeah, good crack, busy. Jump season starts next week. That's about the most positive I'm looking down the line. So we're nearly there.
Can't see Andrew and Dave.
Well, aren't you lucky?
Yeah, you're probably better off, to be honest. Yeah, you fucking don't even want to hear us, I'd say. Tom, how you doing?
All good, Dave. Yeah, obviously the old lid is on the way out, isn't it? I just saying those before we were coming on. I just can't face the pain that people say about the old hair transplant. So it's just look, it's gonna what's going to be is what's going to be. But on a brighter note, Kirkdale, who finished second to Antonin Dvorak at Musselburgh, absolutely fucking hosed up today at Tatterick. So big form, Frank, and yeah, very happy man this afternoon.
Okay. Joe, can you hear us and see us before we keep going
I'm
here?
going to check here now.
I think he says yes down at the bottom.
Yeah, I know. He said we can see you now, but can you hear us?
It's gonna
Go away.
It's going to be quite hard to tell you that if the answer's no.
We can see it. We're there. We're
Yeah,
there.
okay. Well, we're good to go. Anyway, last week we done our novice horses to follow, and what's the word I'm looking for? Wild card. This week it's the open horses to follow. 2 chasers, 2 hurdlers, and a wild card. It worked pretty good last week. We're trying to keep the shows to an hour. I had it bang on bar 9 seconds last week, so I was actually quite proud of myself. And we're going to do the exact same again this week.
I just realised I made the wrong graphic for my last one.
Tough.
I'll
It is
change
what
it.
is now.
Focus.
Please do the usual, like and subscribe. It helps the channel. If you want to throw some comments in, we'll try and get 1 or 2 of the comments, like we did last week. And are we going to do the same route that we did last week? Route. I went
Tomato,
first.
tomato. You're going first. Okay, you go first then.
I'll go first.
Oh wow! Wait. We going?
Yeah, let's kick it off. Let's go straight in. That is definitely not how you spell that, but the horse.
I know I left out.
There's a couple of L's, I'd say, missing there somewhere along the way.
I told you I was rushing today. I had to put these together about half an hour ago.
My first horse is Great Cool. She ran in the Pertemps hurdle, and you know what? I tried to kind of pick some obscure ones. I know Sean is going to fucking pick probably Con Hill. Let me think. Willie the Whore was picked last week. Lost him out. Con Hill.
Galloping the Champs.
Galloping. I'm going to try to get them all now.
State man.
Who's going to win the Ryanair? Grey Dawning, maybe. He'll go for an English one. I say Grey Dawning because he won
Dark
last
horse
year.
El Fabiolo to bounce back, surely, Sean.
Yeah. Maybe John Bond.
Or a Nergamine.
His wild card will be Con Hill.
Coming back from the depths of despair.
Anyway,
On death's door. This is the comeback of all comebacks.
I've tried to find a few obscure ones.
Squeer.
She's 6 going on 7. I think she's the right age now. She ran the Pertemps last year. Didn't run great, but up to that point last year had been a good season for her. When we were up at the DRF, she came second in the big 3 mile handicap hurdle, and she had won, I think, a Pertemps qualifier the time before. Goes very, very well on deep, heavy ground, which you get a lot of in Ireland through the winter. I think she'll win another couple of races this year. She's not one of these horses that's going to go off 6-4, 7-4 in these big handicaps. So I think she has a good chance, maybe going back to the DRF. and they try to get that race. Again, possibly not good enough to go to Cheltenham and win unless it's heavy ground. But I like her. I think she's improving. I would think they're going to stay over hurdles. I'm putting her up as an open hurdler. She's small, so yeah, quite cool. Ted Walsh.
Nice.
I like her.
Nice. Shock. You liking women?
Andrew?
Oh, me.
Andrew's next. Andrew's first open hurdler is
Strong leader of Oliver Murphy.
I'm surprised.
And the reasoning behind this now.
Tom's in shock.
I'm not even really a big fan of the horse, to say the least. But if we take into context the state of the staying division in England, this fella probably is the best that's there right now. And we want horses to win throughout the season. This fella's going to win throughout the season. He placed over 2 miles in the grade 1 behind in the pocket over hurdles at Aintree. He then came back last season. He went off 3-1 favourite for the Welsh champion hurdle. Finished stone last 10 to 10. Stepped up in 2 mile 3, was a bit better. Then he would finish last 4 to 4 behind Bob Ollinger at Cheltenham on New Year's Day.
I backed him that day.
Did you?
Yeah, and then
Jumped
I backed him on 8.
like an absolute fucking fridge that day.
Yeah, he was poor.
He was a bit better then at Cheltenham at the end of January, where he's behind Noble Yates. He was only beaten a length and 3/4, but that was the day I was like, Jesus, this fella might be actually starting to click. He ran on really strong at the finish then, and then as Dave said, he went on to Aintree and he won the grade 1 3 mile hurdle, beating Buddy 1 by 4 lengths going away. As I said, the state of the English staying division is appalling. I'm just looking at the stairs hurdle market here, just to put in perspective. You have Teahupoo, Clean, Tellem, Irish Point, Lossiemouth, then their strong leader, Slade Ballybor, Marine National, State Man, Keita Bourbon, Stellar Story, Dance Street, Fast and Fake. He's dead. Fast and still in the pen. How do these bookies get away with it? Imperial Pass, St. John, Malmesbury, Mystical Power. Then you're down to the next English horse.
Yeah, very good.
So that's my thinking behind it. The state of the English staying division is absolutely honking, and he's a horse that's after very lightly raced over 3 miles, and there's surely be a bit more improvement left in going forward, and there won't have to be that much more to take the likes of the Cleve hurdles, the long walk, that race in Newbury, can't remember the name of it, races like that. So I think he's a horse to be on the right side of this season going forward. He'll get battered at Cheltenham at the festival, but he'll pick up 2 or 3 races on the way.
Sean, your first open hurdler is?
Sean's first open hurdler is... Sorry, Sean. There you go.
Yeah, Dos Sardinos. Look, I'm putting her up. There's not going to take many to pick her out, but I've gone for horses this season that I think are going to land a specific pot at a specific time, and I think you should have your money on with these open horses. But Dos Sardinos, look, she was very unlucky at the back end of last season. They got no luck at all. Right? They had 3 runs on maidens to avoid the penalty. That's thankfully now gone in the Mare's Novice Hurdle, so these horses will be running good races before Cheltenham. But she went in 3 maidens and won them all as easy as you like, and planned to get to Cheltenham. But unfortunately, I think she was stone bruised maybe on the day, and then the ground went to Aintree and they didn't run her there either. So she's been off a while. But over the summer, I was made aware that she's actually off a mark of 131, and I'd go as far as saying she's probably one of the best handicapped horses in training. I think she's incredibly well handicapped off that mark. I think I've seen that they might have a prep run and go to the Great Woods, but if they had the prep run, they might round that mark, so I'm not too sure what they're going to do. But if she goes into a handicap of a mark of 131, you can have wherever you want on her, because I think she could have at least 10 pounds in hand. I will not. She could even have 15. I would not be surprised at all if this horse ends up at the end of the season in the middle of the 140s. I've no doubt she's going to take the handicap. She's going to step into graded company. Where she goes after that, I don't know if they're going to go up to 2.5 miles. That's the mare's that's the mare's hurdle distance, or they might stick to 2. She's fast. She's absolutely lightning. Of course, like you're going back to bumper days, she had Golden Ace 9 lengths behind, but I would have loved to see how they progressed. Obviously, Golden Ace has come on. I would have loved to see that race at Cheltenham. But she could be one, if a champion hurdle falls apart, she could end up running into that, and she might be able to run into a place. But my biggest aim would be getting the GSI max bet into Dos Sardinos wherever she turns up in a handicap hurdle, because off a mark of 131, she is absolutely chucked in.
Very good. Good horse.
Her massive problems the ground.
I was a big fan of her last year, but she didn't run when I needed her to. So
You were very angry that day.
she can fuck off now, to be quite
There
honest.
we go.
It was about what have you done for me lately, really, isn't it?
Sweet FA
Thomas
of
of
the rain.
Rain. Irish.
Yeah.
Good horse.
Irish
Score,
point,
though.
yeah, first one up. So I've kind of taken the angle into the staying division, like you have, Andrew, and I just think this lad has got a lot of potential. I think he's completely untapped at 3 miles. He went to Leopardstown, and it was kind of a fact-finding mission. And I know, look, he only beat Asterion Phalange and a couple of others, but they're not terrible horses in behind it. He's absolutely annihilated them by 11 lengths. He's then stepped back in trip for the champion hurdle. He's finished a fine length and a quarter second. Forget about Otoy. I think we spoke about this on the preview show, on the flop or not show. But I'm all over this lad. No, they could go chasing. I'll accept that argument, but he's not massively big, and I just feel if they kept him back hurdling, yes, the same owners have Teahupoo, and that could be an issue, but it's a long way between now and Cheltenham. Teahupoo has to stay in one piece. Irish Point has to stay in one piece. They say Teahupoo is very ground dependent, whereas this lad, I don't think he is at all. I think he goes on anything. This is one that I think the owners are very, very forward thinking, and we know that Gordon Elliott is as well. If there's opportunities for this lad across the water over 3 miles, which Andrew described the state of the UK staying division, he could just go and mop up over there, or Teahupoo could look for better ground over there and mop up, and they could split them up and just race them against each other in Cheltenham.
Sound for that.
I'm probably in dream world here, but I would have money on him being better than Teahupoo. I really like him as a horse. I'd take him better than Teahupoo, and I think he's a little bit probably maybe goes under the radar a little bit, but I actually think he's very, very good.
Yeah, I love Irish Point. I do.
You love a
him
grey.
a lot. I do. I love a grey. My second one, and we'll do myself and then Thomas of
Of the
Rain,
Rain.
because it's the same horse.
He doesn't like Thomas of the Rain.
So yeah, fire it up. It's Golden Ace for Jeremy Scott, probably the best horse Jeremy Scott's ever trained. I would dare to say. I think I'm right.
You
Even saying
didn't
that.
dare. You just said it.
Look, she was getting £5 last year in the Mayor's Novice, and she's obviously going into open company this year.
That's
I
scrap
think
now,
she
isn't it?
would've
Sorry
won.
to cut across you. That's scrap now, isn't it?
Huh?
That's scrap now, isn't it?
Yeah, Sean even said it. Yeah, it's gone now. No £5 penalties for the grade races. I think she would have beaten Brighter Days Ahead regardless. I also think she would have beaten Dice Sardinas if she turned up regardless. And I had all my money on Dice Sardinas. She was unbelievably visually impressive at small tracks. I think it was one of them was Taunton, I think, and one of them was Hereford, if I'm right, something like that anyway. Or it could have been twice at Taunton.
Twice at Taunton.
Her jumping is very slick, and she is dynamite fast. I think she's very, very good. I think she'll surprise people even more this year. She went off, I think, 10 or 11 to 1 in the Mayor's Novice, even though her form was strong enough coming in after being second in a bumper to Dice Sardinas. I think she'll be overlooked in a few races this year, go off with a decent price, and she'll win a few races. I think she's very, very good.
Where'll she end up?
Actually, Jesus, I don't know. They'll probably go for champion hurdle with her, I suppose. And if she's not good enough in some of the earlier races, then they drop back into the Mayors. If she might not stay though, that's the only thing. She'd be a 2-miler if you ask me.
Yeah. They tried 2-4 at Cheltenham after it. Well, that was against a load of
There's a
donkeys.
load of trees. Tom.
Yeah, I really like her, Dave. I'm taking her as the standout mare from last year with Brighter Days ahead apart, probably. It's amazing to think she went into that Cheltenham Mayor's Novice rate 124. which is absolutely insane. She's a hell of a lot better than that. She's now rated 143. I just wonder, they brought her back out and ran her in April at the mayor's meeting in a listed race, which seemed a fairly strange thing to do, and that was over 2 mile 4. So look, she did beat the horses that were far inferior to her, and we saw with Ballyburn last year, Sean, didn't we, that it can make them look like strong stayers sometimes if they're beating horses inferior to them at Cheltenham. But anyway, I think she'll stay. I think if you could hold on to her long enough, she definitely do them for turn of foot in the mares. If you look at the mares now, I have a feeling that Lossie Mouth may end up champion hurdle bound. You look at the owners there; they're not afraid to take a swing at one. If she's in her prime, State Man, he's not that old, but he's another year older, and Con Hill, who knows when we're going to see him again. £7 mares allowance. I could see Lossie looking at a champion hurdle this year. You've then got Dre de Grugy and Cargeese, who are good horses, but Golden Ace is there at 10-1 for the mares hurdle, and trip or no trip, I think that's a big price for her. She's proved that she likes the course. She's gone well at the Cheltenham Festival, obviously. I'm a big fan of her. Jeremy Scott, you said, Dave, the best horse he's ever trained. I think he came out last week and said basically she is. I think he said she's the first one that you really felt she's got that X factor. But he had that Melodic Rendezvous, who was a very good horse. He had Dasher Drasher. Like, it's not like he's just had one good horse and it's half like he doesn't know what to do with it or it's come out of nowhere. Like, he is a good trainer. He has a small string, but he's well able to get the best out of one. And I think she's a bit of a superstar this one.
Yep. Andrew, your second open hurdler.
Mystical, I've got the power. I love this fella. I love everything about him. I love how he races and the constant progression from race to race to race. He started off in Bannerrow, as you all know, May of last year. Went on with his novice hurdle by 7 lengths on the Sally Snaff. His jumping was a bit iffy then, but as I say, he keeps progressing. He's only ever been beat by Slay Steel. Should have. Ground probably got the best from that day. It's officially soft, but I say it was like a bog that day. It was constantly raining the whole morning. But he's just pure speed, and he stays that bit further, that extra bit that you need for a champion hurdle. Am I saying he's going to win champion hurdle? No, not. But he could. He definitely, potentially could.
I think he win a champion hurdle. That's why I don't think Lossie Mouth.
He's to me, he's still so underrated for what he's doing. He's beaten Firefox, and hey, Firefox is going to be a very high standard horse. I reckon he'll go and have a chase the next season, and he'll be the kind of found a 50 of this year, if not better. He'd be the solid horse that's always there in grade ones. But it's the constant progression from run to run. He looked like he was going to fall out the back of the telly at Punchestown, but he kept grinding away and jumping, gotten back into the game, and we stayed on past him very strongly to the line. He's only a 5-year-old. He's going into 6. There's going to be amounts of improvement on him, and you couldn't ask for a better bred horse. Galileo, any power. I don't know why there's not more talk about him. I genuinely don't get it. He has everything you need to be a top-class grade 1 horse, and he could be the one to upset State Man this year. I really like him. There's something about him. There's nothing flashy about him. He just gets the job done.
I think he'll win the champion hurdle. I honestly believe that's why Lossie Mouth's not going to go there. I think he will.
Some crack if you got all three of them rocking up to a mark, yeah.
I think he'll win the 2 mile grade 1 at the DRF, and he'll go to Cheltenham.
I know Cheltenham is fucking months away. If you look at it now, you've these are best prices. Con Hill 7-4, Lossie Mouth 7-2, Stateman 5-1, Ballyburn 10s. Then you're at Mystical Power at 14s. I can't see him going novice chases with him. If he goes and turns up on the day, he's not nowhere near a 14-1 shot. He's a 4-1 maximum.
The owner loves the champion hurdle, so he'll be a champion hurdler.
And he's by a champion hurdler. And there's everything's just pointing to this lad has so much progression in him that he hasn't really had a break. That was the first full season racing last year. From May up to April. That's a long season. I know he's had little breaks here and there, but there has to be so much more progression in this fella. I think he's going to surprise a lot of people, and I think he could be upsetting State Man this season. I really, really like what he's going to do this season.
Okay, Sean, your second one.
Yeah, Chupu as Kubo calls him. But yeah, Tia Hupu, look, we've all dipped into this stairs. Like the lads have brought up Irish Point and Andrews brought up Strong Leader. I don't think Irish Point will take him on because they didn't do it last season. That him and Han about going over fences now, I just don't see. For some reason, they don't want to race the two of them together, and I don't know why. And I don't see why he's going to do it now. And if you look at that stairs division,
2 minutes, maybe 1 minute. Ben says Nicky could ride Con Hill to beat Mystical Power. Ben, when you show me Con Hill is still alive, you can comment back then. Again.
Oh, he is. He's on the gallows getting kicked in the belly to walk.
Fucking back in that horse and he's fucking colic, Ebola. Fire away, Sean.
Back to the Hupion anyways. Yeah, look, I don't see the Irish. Well, I don't know. I don't see where they're going to put Irish Point up against them now. And if you take him out, boy, God, that stairs division is absolutely like stinking. I can't even tell you how bad it is. Like, it's really, really bad what you're coming into. There's no novice coming through. Like, your Dancing City from last year is going chasing. You've no novice coming up. There's going to be no shock factor about what goes in there. He goes to Hatton's Grace. For some reason, every single year, he's not. Like, you get a good price in the Hatton's Grace. Willie normally sends one against him and he goes off a decent price. You can back him then. And then forward thinking to Cheltenham. I see the likes of Constitution Hill is less than a price than the Hupu is. Maureen is the same price as the Hupu, which absolutely baffles me. And if you're looking at short ones this far out from the festival, I think the Hupu is an absolutely, by far, the best out of all of them. You're coming into a division where you've nothing coming in from the left or right. You've Irish Point, who hasn't taken them on yet, and yet to prove himself properly over 3 miles. And you've the Hupu, who's going to have one race. They figured him out. He needs to go there fresh. He's going to go to Hatton's Grace. He goes straight to Cheltenham. He's versatile in terms of ground. He's won. He went up and backed it up at Punchtown last year, which I'd like to see. He hasn't done previously. And I think he's become about a man. And Tihupu, just for me, looks an absolute head and shoulders above anything in that division this season. And as I said, you're not going to see him regularly. You get him out once in the Hatton's Grace, and then he goes again until you see him in Cheltenham in March. But he's a horse, I think, if anyone is considering around Cheltenham, or if you're putting him in with a double of a horse that you like, I think the Hupu is absolutely the one of the shorties so far.
See, I'm going to back Lossimo to win the stairs.
You said this to me today, and boy, it's not a bad shout.
You see, theory. What I think is she'll be beaten by Mystical Power or State Man, and then they'll decide, right, she's not fast enough for the champion hurdle. But he's no stayers horse, and he has other mares that could possibly win the mares, and they are sporting, like Tom said. They give it a go. And Annie Power was in it and they didn't win it with her. She came second. So I'm actually going to have a little sneaky fiver on that.
That's what I thought. Lee said that Andrew. I can't see it there. I need to put up a big screen. Seriously, think Mystical Power got force. Yeah, I just want to explain this part. When you go through the field and you consider who's going to run here, so who's not going to run here, this is all presumed that he does end up going here. Champion Hurdle will cut up the shit. And laws of average, Lossimo or State Man. Lossimo more or less probably won't run if she can't beat State Man or Mystical Power. You take that out, Ballyburn's not going to run there. Sergino, he's more injuries than myself. You have Vaban, Slave Steel, he's going chasing. You take that out, drastically cut. You're looking at 4s, 6s, something like that, because the bookies will try to screw you each way places. So that's the reason why I said that.
If he lines up in a race before and he beats State Man,
if he lines up for a grade 1 first time up this season, the 14's gone before he starts running.
If he beats State Man, he's going to be less surprised than State Man. Anyway. My first open chaser is the former winner of the Mayor's Chase. Impervious.
I haven't seen in a good while now, I'm not gonna lie.
The little mini horse. She bet Allegory de Vassy that day.
That was the best day ever. Now she's
yeah.
I have a video. I must put it up on social media.
She's a little mini horse, and I think everybody was majorly impressed with her after that. There was talks of her last year possibly going to the Ryanair, so on and so forth. She's obviously had a season out, but I think she'll be back this year. They won't waste any time. They'll run her plenty. I think she's a very good horse. Her form was strong. She's really, really battle hardened. She looks beat at times and just keeps going and going. She was a decent enough hurdler as well, but I think they'll have to strike while the iron is hot. If they get her back, you'll see her a lot. She'll win her fair share of races. Where she ends up, I don't know, but if she's not good enough to take on the geldings, I'm sure she'll go back to the mares.
She has taken them on already and beaten them.
Oh, sorry, she has. She beat that fucking Journey with Me, wasn't it?
Was.
I think maybe they'll aim to go back to the mayor's chase, but they also have Limerick Lace for that. So perhaps Ryanair.
Perhaps they what's the thing down in Cork? Healy Way.
Yeah, whether she's good enough for those races, I don't know, but she's a right bonny little mare.
I love her.
I never liked her, but she's battle hardened and she gives her all. So
I got a lot of dirty looks in Alfie's that day when she won.
yeah. Andrew,
What?
your next one.
It's not me, it's Tom.
No, we done Tom because he had the same horse as me. You were next.
I'm so confused. Where is it?
That was the hurdlers.
That was a hurdle. It's Tom's to go.
Yeah, but are we not? We're going the same. It's Tom. You go.
Are we? Sorry. No. What are we on?
Thomas of Rain.
See, I have it in order. You're confusing me.
Don't worry about it.
Tom of the Rain.
I couldn't leave him out, could I?
No, and we would be disappointed if you did, Tom.
Yeah, I couldn't. Look, the love affair continues. Look,
I knew it. Oh, I said Sean to put that fucking horse up.
You saw it.
Go on, Tom.
He's at the scene.
Never mind. Go on, Tom.
I still have nightmares about the start. I can still visualize him jumping out to the right, Brazil coming up, and just
He ran great today.
Did he? What
No,
did
he
run?
did not.
A fucking 0 to 65 handicap in the flat or something.
Jason, Tom.
Jeez. Yeah, beating 35 lengths, 7 for 7 in a Sligo chase today. Their careers went two different directions.
Guess what? He beat you at Shetland for a lot of money. What did he get beat off? 126?
Yep.
126?
29.
29. HMS Seahorse, too friendly, swing in London.
Fuck. But do you know what? You need, when he throws in a wobbler, Tom, you need to not jump off him like, say, Sean did last year. He's just going to. There'll be 2 races a season where he doesn't try, and it's nothing to do with the jockeys or anything. The horse is just nuts.
Do you think?
But you know what? Like I was very
you
stupid
think
at
he's-
the RF last year. I missed that parade ring, and by God, if I had seen that parade ring what he was doing beforehand, I would have had everything in my pocket on Factor Foot, because the carry on of him in that parade ring at the DRF last year told you everything you needed to know before he even went down onto the track.
Is it a thing that is he's much better on soft ground to heavy ground? Because you look at his performances at Punchestown, where Elete Tom beat him, and where else did he get beat? He nearly had a heart attack at the
He
DRF.
got DRF, which was good ground.
We're taking Tom's time here. Sorry, Tom.
No, I don't know. I don't buy the ground too much. He bolted up at Punchestown in a novice hurdle. I don't know. Look, I think you're right, Dave. Maybe he is going to throw a stinker in. The whole parading thing, I don't know how much I buy that. I actually think, I know he won over 3 miles, but I think Factor File just broke him that day. I think Factor File in the form he can be in, I just think he breaks horses, and Willie did some job to get him back, but I think the 2 mile open division is very, very wide open. I'm just going to put it up here again to go through a couple of them, but you got John Bon in there. Obviously, El Fabiola was a very short price favourite this year before bombing out. You couldn't trust him right now, and I think Gaelic Warrior nearly be the head of Willie's pack going into this year. And Ergamine is very old now. Marine Nationale, sorry Joe, R.I.P. John Bon, I love John Bon, but I fancy Gaelic Warrior might be a little bit better than him. I just think he's growing up now. He's getting a bit smarter, a bit wiser. What he did at Cheltenham last year was insane visually. And I just think that's a wide open market. You got the likes of Captain Guinness, who we were saying on the Flop or Not show, he might run into a place, but you'd think there'd be something to go and beat him. Ilate Tomp, I think Gaelic Warrior is definitely better than him. So I think it's wide open. It's waiting for one to kick on. And I just think if he went and kicked on, he's definitely got the speed for it. He could be there for the next few years as that champion chaser that they've got to come and shut down. I mean, the option is there for the Ryanair. I know I haven't looked at the comments here, but I'm sure everyone's going to be pointing out that he's pretty much favourite for the Ryanair as well, and John Bon is second favourite for that. So you can switch him around. El Fabiolo, Ilate Tomps, he could go for the Ryanair. He's versatile.
People will eventually realise that John Bond does not act at Cheltenham. They will.
No,
It might take them a while, but they will eventually.
They will when he retires.
I wouldn't. I'd take John Bon on anyway, but I just think, look, maybe if El Fabiolo is back bouncing, then Gaelic Warrior goes up and trip for the Ryanair because he's more versatile. But I would just love to see him over that 2 miles and let loose around there. I thought he was electric this year in the Arkle. He showed plenty of speed for it. So. Yeah, look, Ryanair, all the champion chase. I think he wins either, whatever he turns up in.
El Fabiolo will be back bouncing into fences. Sean or Andrew next?
Me.
Andrew, first open chaser.
Ilate Tomp.
Fuck off.
Fuck you.
Hate that.
He fucking hates you too. Anyway, Ilate Tomps. If you said to me this time last year, I'd be putting him up. I'd be saying exactly like you. I hate that little cunt. Little fucker. Don't like him. He's at the growing on me.
He hasn't grown himself.
He hasn't grown himself, but he's grown on me. He's a battle-hardened little fucker.
He is, Andrew. He is one of the smallest, raffiest horses I've ever seen in my life. We look at buying horses. People say, "Oh, he's not very big. He's only 15.3. You want a 16.2 chase and whatever." My answer the whole time is go look at Ilate Tomp.
He's like a pony.
Yeah,
He's a pocket rocket, in fairness to him.
He just never knows when he's beaten. Like he's been to Leopardstown 4 times. He's won 2 great ones, and he's been placed in another 2.
That's his track.
That's his track.
Cheltenham's not his track.
I get to Cheltenham in a second. Why it might change.
It won't.
It might. It might. He's able to mix it with the big guns. He's obviously got beat by Gaelic Warrior, but he's also beaten Gaelic Warrior at Punchestown. He has been more or less campaigned over 2 mile, 2 mile, 1, 2 mile 2. He's had to win 2 great ones over fences, DRF and Punchestown. 3, sorry, he won Punchestown and Aintree as well. It was a step up and trip to 2 mile 4 at Aintree was where it was like, oh, this fella could stretch out and be a Ryanair horse. Why I think he could be a Ryanair horse? Change the track, more of a staying track, and more time in between his jumping. I know it's not. It might not be his favorite place, but he might get away with it at that track. It's a new track.
You'll get possibly 2. You'll get 1, possibly 2 grade 1s out of that horse this year, but they won't be at Cheltenham.
I know they might be at Cheltenham. This is forward and after Cheltenham, whatever. But I think he could run in the 2 mile 1 chase at Christmas time, the one that was won last year by Dyna Blue. Whether Gaelic Warrior goes there or not, who knows? He might go to the Healy Way. One of them might go either or, because he might have a Nergamine coming back as well, and El Clausiolo. But I think he's definitely going to win his races. He's very versatile, like Gaelic Warrior. He can go 2 miles, he can go 2.5 miles. But I think they will have a go with him with the Ryanair. He's 20-1 currently now with that. Obviously, if he wins a race or 2, he'll shorten. But I think going forward, he definitely will go overpriced nearly all the races he goes into. And Leopardstown is a place where you want to catch him. He was hammered in the betting last year. He went from, I think, 12-1 into 6-1 just before the off, and he beat found a 50.
Everyone. You'd have to start howling at the moon for him doing the Cheltenham though. So I suggest you go outside and start barking at the moon.
That's fucking worst thing that fucking happened. Gaelic Warrior fucking won the Cheltenham. No one ever thought that happened. Oh, you got one right. Congratulations, but now I'm wrong.
You win. Everybody fucking, I love that horse. Great pick,
Anyway,
Tom.
I think
Great
he'll
pick.
pick up his races in Ireland, Cork, wherever, Limerick. Laberstown, more or less, but yeah, I think he'll win you a bit of money going forward.
Il Ede Zoom. Sean, your first one,
There we go.
and I called it. So obvious. So
He
obvious.
did.
Because he's the favourite
Yeah.
for the Betfair fucking Haydock race. Betfair Chase. It's obvious.
I love him.
Fucking
I-
I liked him before he was good.
Stayers favourite. Betfair Chase favourite. Favorite. Fucking favourite.
I told you, yeah. We done
He's
this a few
related,
weeks
he's
ago.
related to Johnny Deneen and the Gucci fella. Has to be.
I-
Somewhere along the line. It's in the breeding somewhere.
I
Lads,
said
that's
this a few weeks
Gucci
ago.
fella. I got introduced to Gucci fella early this year. One of the most comedic sketch acts you've ever seen in your life. Absolutely hilarious. Lucky enough to meet McGoy, actually.
Lucky.
Yeah.
Don't consider
Yeah,
yourself
I'll
lucky.
get over. He said he's looking for you, Sean. Something about you follow him on Twitter or something about TikTok.
I wish.
Something about your mates on the wind up with him, but no, absolute hilarious comedy sketch acts on TikTok.
Actually, Dice Sardino is his favourite for the Great One as well, and it's like 6 weeks out or whatever. So that's another favourite.
And he put up
no.
What?
I thought you were going to give away the next one.
No.
Sean, by the
No,
way,
I said Chupo.
Grey Dawning.
Yeah, I said it a few weeks ago, and the nail's being hit on the head by yourself. But Grey Dawn and his big race, and I'm telling you here and now, I've already backed it, and Dave has touched on it. He's 2-1 for the Betfair Chase. By God, he's going to take some stopping in that. You look through that race, right? The English staying division this year is absolutely horrific. You have the likes of a Hoy Senor, Brave Man's Game, who they've come out and said doesn't want to go on soft ground. Haydock is going to be an absolute slog. You can guarantee you that. Then you're going to take on a Royal Pagoy or someone like that, who's, for me, has had his day. You couldn't be going anywhere near him. But I think Grey Dawning is a horse that you really, really need to be following on the English side of the water this year. Like, you go in there, as I said, that staying division is absolutely horrific. You'll go to that Betfair Chase, you'll win it. You went there last year in Haydock on that same day when he won that graduation chase. You had Goyer Dumanil back in second, and he absolutely pinged every fence and won as easy as you like. And you know Dan Skelton is going to have him drilled to the eyes to win this first time up Grade 1. He's then probably going to rock on to somewhere like a Weatherby. He'll take out that as well, because where else have you got there? But I wouldn't be looking at him as a King George horse. And then you'd be talking about that Denman chase that's at Newbury. I think it's around February time, like that. Them sort of races, for me, he's going to take some whacking in that English division this year. Like, it's horrific. As I touched on, you have a Hoy Senor who ran last year as Aintree. Like, God bless you if you're still backing him. You have Royal Pagoy, Brave Man's Game. I'm taking on every single one of them every day of the week. And when he was stepped up to Warwick last year, you could arguably say he was nearly most impressive. He was unbelievable. He started doing mad stuff, jumping over the last stuff, running left and right, running around, not barely going forward at one stage, and he pulled away by about 10-15 lengths. But I think Grey Dawn is going to be a force to be reckoned with on the English side of the water this year, and what I think is possibly one of the worst staying chase division you'll see.
I love him.
Grey Dawning's all right, but I would put it to you that Turner's last year was absolutely terrible.
It was shite.
And he just might not be as good as people think he's going to be. I
don't think he'd be competing in a King George against, like, fast or slow. I don't think he'd be anything like that. But if you're asking me, taking on Brave Man's Game, his day is done. Taking on a Royal Pagoy, taking on a Hoy Senor.
I wouldn't be so sure Brave Man's Game is done now. Like, Grey Dawning bet Ginny Winnie, Jello, fucking Zanahir, Iroko, Colonel Harry, Facile Vega in that Turner's last year. That was a really bad race, like, really bad race.
Yeah, but you get him out on the front, he jumps, he stays. I just don't see any of them going where this is.
He does a lot of weird things when he's out in front, God bless him.
Anyway,
we
shall move on. Grey Dawning for Sean.
I do like him. I've liked him since he's a hurdler.
We'll go myself, Andrew, and then Sean and Tom at the same horse. It's probably favourite along the way somewhere.
Fucking shocking. You know what, Dave?
As
Fucking is.
Mullins is the second name.
It fucking is.
Sean and Tom have the same horse then, so we let the both of them talk. But I'll go, Andrew will go, and then we'll bang away. My horse is Embassy Gardens.
Oh.
Probably not up to like grade 1, grade 2 standard, but I like Embassy Gardens. I think I said to Andrew earlier.
What
I think
do you like about Embassy Gardens? Dave?
Yeah, excuse me.
Come on.
Sorry, you're not getting away with that. You say that, for you hate that cunt.
No. I hate him over hurdles. I thought he
You're
would
better than this, lad.
I thought he done very well.
Better than this.
I thought he done
tablet
very
stop.
well over fences, and then I don't know what Paddy Mullins did to him, Michelle. Like holding him up don't work. Like
Looking
You
at
got
us.
to punches down as well.
end of the season, Sean punches house for drinking. Tom keeps telling you that.
Fair enough.
Yeah, it is
Fair enough.
gone. Forget about April.
I think the depths of winter. He needs heavy ground. He will win one of these big handicaps, one of these fucking Connacht Nationals or something like that. Again, I said I went for obscure ones. I could have fucking picked Gaelic Warrior. I could have picked fucking Gallopin Deschamps. Could have picked Fact to Foil. I'm not going to do that. When you see the next one I have, Andrew.
Now you have to settle him off now. He's in a bad mood now. Fuck's sake. Where's he going to go? Win. Oh, Toyestes.
Toyestes is a possible, yeah. Heavy ground, 3 miles. I could see him, depending on the ground, running in the big 3 mile chase on Stephen's Day or the day after Stephen's Day at Leopardstown. Is the Paddy Power sponsored one?
What's that race? Is it Navan or Neil? The Tri-Town.
Yeah, handicapper. Yeah, he's no way a grade 1 horse like. No.
Nah, Gordon wins the Troy Town. Come on, stop being silly.
Tri-Town.
Sorry, Tom.
All them kind of races where you see Embassy Gardens.
See, cheer him up a bit now. See that? You're welcome.
Lads, in fairness, right, I just want to give a shout out to a few people here. The comments are on fire.
Are
If
they?
you haven't seen the comments, go and check the comments out. All night, between Ben and Sean on about moms and stuff and dead people and all this.
Jesus.
Asan Foon
Who?
is just got involved now. Asan Foon, he's asked is Dave still in a coma.
I was never in a coma.
that yak.
Ben says, fuck me, Dave, that's the worst horse ever put up.
That's the fella that licks fucking the window of Con Hill's fucking stable. Please be okay. He's outside the stable, fucking cleaning the door and everything, rubbing himself up against it. Anyway.
Keep going. No, this is brilliant. Keep
No,
going.
no,
Come on,
no,
he's
no,
off now. We
no,
can't
no.
stop him. Keep going.
No,
Oh, this is great.
no.
I'm going to clip this.
If Ben sues us for that, it was worth every penny.
I don't fucking care.
Oh, you at least Ben said that he wishes.
Nicky looks out the window drinking whiskey. Oh, Ben is there again. Fucking hell.
Oh,
Yeah. Andrew,
How the fuck am I meant to top that? Like,
your second open
fuck
chaser
me.
to follow is
Shanty Classico.
Chianti Classico.
If I want to call him fucking that, I call him that.
It's red wine.
I should fucking know
You
that.
should know.
I should know that. Oh,
Andrew
for that.
doesn't like Italian, he only likes French.
Oui. Sean was on about the state of the 3 mile chasing division. I know they've been talking about this fella who is going to go to the Grand National, but it might be the fact that he might be too good for it.
See, the trainer is the problem, though.
I know he's very good of, I'm not going to say stopping a horse, but let's say Harry Cobden.
He stopped him at Kempton last year.
Let's just say that Harry Cobden done the best ride ever to make him finish second at Kempton. Sorry, Tom?
Allegedly.
Allegedly. Sorry, now we're okay now. I said allegedly. Allegedly stopping. But Harry Cobden gave him the best educational ride to
Lovely-
finish.
lovely
Loves-
man.
lovely man.
Lovely man, Kim Bailey. Wears nice hats.
He does. He's like the Willie Mullins of England without the horses.
Yep.
But I've lost my train of thought now. Harry Cobden gave him an exceptional ride to keep his handicap marking intact for us for Cheltenham and GSI to Cheltenham, and that was very appreciated. Harry, thank you for that. Best jockey in England by a country mile. But I think this could be the fact that his handicap mark will go bye-bye when he starts running the graded races. As Sean alluded to, the division is not great, and this is a 7-year-old that looks very, very good and on the upgrade. Forgive him his defeat at Aintree behind. I know the way you're thinking. I was after a huge performance again at Cheltenham. He travelled away, jumped in. He looked at the winner about a mile out. You could pick him out like a sore thumb. I just really think there's a lot more improvement left in him after his how do we say it? Allegedly handicap kept mark. What way do we word it that we don't get in trouble?
I think we've already said it, so it makes no difference.
There was a lot of room left on his mark. Let's put it like that. We have not seen the best of him yet.
He was part of the greatest Cheltenham day I've ever had.
It was fantastic, and he was
Not weeks all over, but the greatest Cheltenham day I've ever had. It's a great day down in Cork, the Scottish lads where they are. 2 handicap picks for the day, back before the festival, anti-post, Cante Classico. Knew from about
a mile out.
9 out he was going to win because he was just tanking along, larking them on, and then like a fucking Ferrari coming up the hill.
Doesn't go on soft ground, 9-1, thank you.
Oh, sure, we tried him today because it's the big day.
Stopped all season. I mean, allegedly not going on soft ground.
Oh, this is where JJ was.
Oh shit, I meant to win today. Oh, fantastic. But yeah, cutting a long story short, there's a lot more improvement left in there's a lot of 3-mile chases there further taken, and I think his handicap mark will go kaput and the Aintree Grand National Dream will be over. He might end up in a proper grade 1 3 miles. Not a Gold Cup horse, so let's not get carried away.
The next one, Tom and Andrew. And Sean
Jesus.
have the next one. They have a hard on for this horse. They do.
I fucking see from here.
They do.
Yeah, I'm going first on this. Sorry.
I take it.
This is
I didn't
literally.
vote him up, but okay, go on.
I think this is literally my favourite. Let's say the favourite national hunt horse in training. I'd say maybe second favourite horse in training behind Antonin Dvorak.
Pimlico plug. I love it.
I'm a huge fan and believer in this horse. I didn't get on board, in fairness now, until that first Leopardstown run last season, where he absolutely annihilated them. I just loved the way he took it on like halfway down the back in Leopardstown and just kept going. And then he did. Look, numbers and figures will tell you that Gaelic Warrior has to have run under his normal level to some amount. But again, he just took it up so far out and the race is just over. I can't see how he won't stay. I think he's got the cruising speed to travel well in a Gold Cup. I think he jumps relatively. He did take a chance at a couple at Cheltenham last year, but I feel that was more because they were breaking his stride the whole time. He gave him such a sensible ride, in fairness to Mark Walsh. He just dropped him in, sat away, and let him come clear after the last, I think it was. He absolutely bolted up. It's one of those people say, he only won 3 lengths. They wanted to look after him in that race. If he would have raced the way he normally raced and just took it on 3-4 out, that race they'd have been strung out like washing, and he'd have come up the hill, the 20-odd length winner, and we'd all been saying he's the next coming since Jesus Christ. So I'm all over him. I think he wins the Gold Cup. I'm a huge fan of his. I mean it. I'm not taking the piss now when I think he literally is my favourite national horse in training.
Sean.
Wait, no. Sean has just spurted out there. That's not the horse I picked up. Dave, can you please read the horses that he sent to me?
I must have wrote down the wrong one.
There, these open chases there. Could you please read to the viewers what he said?
Grey Dawning.
Yes.
Fact 2 piles.
What did he just send me here? Hold up now.
Orbit Cross. We have a curveball. Sean's not picking Fact 2 piles. He's going for Corbett's Cross.
Sean, word of advice: put up Fact 2 fast. Stick with the first one they gave you, and you'll do well.
No. It's Corbett's Cross now.
It's not a favour. Stop now.
No, I
Leave him.
don't disagree with you, Tom. I love Factor Foil, but the Corbett's Cross one, I think. Look, lads were talking about canny trainers earlier on, and this lad was given a fair few educations, and let's get better, and let's arrive on the big day, and let's absolutely smash up the National Hunt Chase, because he housed up that day and jumped better than he ever had before, travelled better than he ever had before. And no surprise, it was on the big day he done it. But he was then brought back to Aintree in the Grade 1 against, oh God, name is going to escape me. What is the Gordo horse?
Get there.
Oh, it runs in
See,
the team.
you don't compare, Sean. Sending wrong horses and everything.
Oh, what's the one that runs into the Hoopu colours? Second in the Gold Cup.
Jerry, come on.
Cherry Cologne.
Jerry Colombe.
Jerry Colombe, that's it. He just completely escaped me there. He went and ran in the 3-mile race at Aintree behind Jerry Colombe, and I don't know, he was given a bit of a strange one. He was out the back early and he was given a lot to do. He then made up a heap of ground and he arrived at the second last, right up alongside them all. He jumped his way into it and then he just got third after the last. I wouldn't be at all surprised if this lad is campaigned over 2.5 months this season, and I wouldn't be surprised if you see him like reversing tactics to how he was last year. I think there's nothing to hold back for now. You're up into Big Bad Open Company. Look, he has the rating. He's up to a mark of 166 now. Protector at 165. He's in and around the same level that you need to be for a Ryanair. I don't know what's going to go there this season. As I said, I don't know if Gaelic Warrior could be a super sub, and depending on ground, would he be in between a Ryanair or a Champion Chase? You've John Bond and that Benton as well have already said that they're going 2 miles with. So you're looking at Illite Toms, Brambridge, and Protectorate again. I think he could be in around that level, and I wouldn't be at all surprised if Corbett's Cross ends up being top level up there competing in a Ryanair by the end of the season. I think you could see, I think the Aintree race made a man of him, and possibly, I know he's won a 3 mile 6 National Hunt Stage, so in theory saying he didn't stay 3 miles at Aintree is probably a bit harsh, but I think in them top grade ones he was just found out wanted in the last furlong, so it wouldn't be at all surprised to see him drop back down. And I think Corbett's Cross could be a horse that would be aimed at the Ryanair this year.
I was half asleep there. My wildcard one. Wildcards. We've got 8 minutes left, so this needs to be fast.
Okay. I can get a lot done
my
in 8
one
minutes.
is another one from left field. Mr. Van Gogh, Sarah Bradstock. He ran in the National Hunt Chase last year behind Embassy Gardens and Corbett's Cross that Sean just mentioned there. That was definitely a step too far for him. He then went off favourite for the Scottish National. Probably ground not heavy enough. This is a lad that wants real bottomless ground like he had last year at Exeter in Devon National. Trip can't be far enough for him either. But Sean has already alluded to the fact that the staying chasers in England are not great. He's rated in the 130s. I think he's going to win one of these big handicaps on a heavy ground. I like him when he gets rolling out in front. I love a horse that does that.
Roll.
Just keeps going.
Jumps and stays.
Jumps and stays. No grade 1 horse again, but I think he will have a couple of wins, perhaps around some place like Fosslas.
Could be a Welsh national type.
You know what?
Bottomless ground.
Bottomless ground. Not a butter.
Not a Scottish accent.
Who's next? Tom of Rain.
Indiana Dream. This comes with
Why you hate Willie horses?
Why?
Because you're gonna put up one that's like been seen 3 times in 3 years. You're gonna give out that you're not gonna see him again.
Well, you put up one that's going to see him twice in 1 season.
Well. Now to be fair to Tom, this horse will come out, win, and won't be seen again. But he'll get a winner.
True.
He's a dark horse, lads, because nobody knows him that much because he's only ran 3 times in his career, including once in France. Look,
Progressive.
he's had 2 runs. He's had 2 runs in Ireland. He's won by 15 lengths and 13 lengths. The horse looks an absolute aeroplane. He's going to need to stay in one piece. He's missed 313 days between his first and second run, which would be relatively normal coming over from France. And then he's gone and missed 342 days to his next run, which is the 9th of December. So he's going to have missed all of last season from then. It's an if buts and maybes. That's why I'm putting him up here and not in any anti-post stuff. But I genuinely think that horse is a Ryanair contender if he can put a couple of runs together. The way he dismantled that field at Navan, which wasn't a bad race. St. Felician, God rest him, wasn't a bad horse. High 140s rated. The Gordon Elliott horse as well was like 130s. Hidden Valley Lake fell when still in contention. He's a 150 horse, and he absolutely annihilated them. So I think he's very, very good. It's just a case of if he can stay in one piece. So we'll see.
Not a bad one. Andrew.
I've the wrong horse down on the graphics, so my one is Bo Zenit for Gary Moore. I've no idea if this fella's still alive, to be honest.
No. I wouldn't think he is.
He's not.
I'm just guessing.
Right. The whole thing behind this, he was a very good 4-year-old. He won 2 of 3 races. He was beaten the short head by Zenit in the Grade 1. Zenta. In the Grade 1 at Aintree. I like that he's missed his 5-year-old season. Because they always nearly end up doing themselves in some way. I know he's done himself before he fucking got to the 5-year seat before you say it.
He's in the same place where Con Hill is, like. Nowhere.
I was wondering where this is going. It could be, but look, he's very lightly raced. He's raced 4 times in the UK.
Ben doesn't lick Bows in its window on a stable because he's not good enough.
No, I don't mind
Only
bad horses. But his form in France, he beat Blood Destiny, who's gone on to win a good few greater races. He was mixing up with Splans Tower last season. He's still not the finishing article by any stretch of imagination, and I don't mind him missing his 5-year-old season, a year out. Don't know what kind of injury he had, but I think coming back, Gary Moore will get a lot of wins out of this fella.
Very honest, man. What?
In what way, David?
I'm just saying.
In what way, David?
I'm just
I just want to know.
Just an honest fella.
But yeah, look, I think Bozen has a lot to offer. He's not ground dependent. He goes on good soft. He's won on very soft in France, which is probably bottomless here. So yeah, he's one to follow for next season, all being that he might be alive.
Remember Tom Queally rode Frankel?
You could have rode Frankel.
Man, that was
What?
for 14 races. Would you believe?
I nearly fucking got him beat as well.
All of them.
Nearly got him beat at Ascot one day
Then
in the
fell
depths
into-
of winter.
Fell into obscurity
Again.
up there at Brighton. Sean,
Imagine that.
you're.
How'd you ever
What
like?
do you mean? Imagine it happened.
How would you ever get yourself back up to know you had to ride in Frankel and now you can't even get on a grade with Group 1 horse? How good? But Frankel's better than we ever thought.
It's like literally riding Megan Fox and then going to like Susie down the road. Sean,
For any Susies watching, we're sorry.
it's just name came to me. Sorry, apologize.
I'm sure Dave would like to apologise in person.
If your name is Susie and you live in Ballybeg, we're very,
Down the
very
road.
sorry.
Nah, you mightn't be now because the Susies in the Ballybeg now are probably worse.
It's not a very Ballybeg name anyway. Susie. It's not.
What's the Ballybeg name?
Fucking Bridget. Sean, you got
I fucking missed this.
you got 60 seconds.
I won't
Your
do this 60 seconds, but I will.
your wild card.
I've never heard this fella.
Yeah, my wild card is from left wing, and probably Andrew, many people like you probably haven't heard of him before, but it's Jit Lange. He's trained by William Mullins. He has a mark of 138, and as I touched on, I've been trying to pick out horses that land a big pot, and this lad is going to land a big pot in a 2-mile handicap hurdle this season, I think. Off that mark, it's just very workable. Like he made his debut in Tipperary, the same race that Salvador Mundi won this year, and then he was put away. He was off over 200 days, and he was chucked straight into Grade 1 company for the DRF Grade 1, where he, in fact, if you look at the bare form of it, it looks like he's fallen down the field and he hasn't run that good of a race. But I think when you go and watch him back, he runs exactly like he's probably needed a run. But he's jumped, he's travelled, he's brought himself in on the bend and just got tired. But in fairness to him, he plugs on, he sticks at it, and he falls down into 5th that day. But as I touched on, he's jumped well. I don't think he'll have a problem going into a big handicap going into a handicap now. He's had enough runs. And I just wonder this time around with Cheltenham having to be 5 runs, they might wait. It's a long term to say that they're going to wait for a county hurdle, but it's going to be tough to get a novice 5 runs this season. One of the rules that I think is absolutely bonkers that was brought in this season. But it's going to be a tough one. He's already had he's had 4 runs now, so he's good to go. 3 runs over hurdles, so he's good to go in the handicap now. But I wouldn't be surprised if you see him for some reason thrown into graded company. If he's thrown into graded company, I absolutely know that they're waiting for that mark for a big day. So you might see a prep race coming in graded company so they don't do any damage to the mark. And the day he's thrown into a handicap, something like maybe a Liffey, it could be a DRF, he could be having another big day when that comes around this season. But I think this lad, off a mark of 138, you just have to look at the form. He had Absurd in front of him, went on to win the county hurdle. He's only put up 6 pounds. I don't know how he's only 144 after that. And he had Daddy Longlegs behind him, who's rated now 150. He's off 138. I wouldn't be surprised this lad has at least 5 to 10 pounds in hand. And at the end of the season, if he was rated much higher, it wouldn't surprise me at all. So Jit Lange is the name. Stick him down. And the day he arrives into a 2-mile handicap hurdle, it's the day to have your money down.
Fair enough. That was more than 60 seconds, but we had a few curveballs along the way, so we'll allow it. That is it for our open hurdlers, chasers, and left field selection wildcard. So now you have them all. You got the novices last week, the open ones this week, and next week we are previewing Chepstow. The National Hunt season is going to be starting. Chepstow is always a good meeting. Paul Nichols mops up some of these races, but you never know. Might pick a winner or two.
Highly doubtful.
Fergal O'Brien.
Yeah.
Fergal
be crack,
O'Brien.
be fun.
Few of them winners. Anything else before we go?
No, 7 o'clock next week. From next week on, we are 7 bells.
Yep. I need to go to bed early, so we're doing it earlier. And that's not a problem.
Not the problem.
Not the bother.
Damn it, I can never get it.
Not the bother, son.
Finish the fucking team. We go watch Champions League, will you?
Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe. Enjoy the football.